Thank you, Presiding Officer. I feel honoured to be here today, representing the people of the North East and standing up for those jobs in the North East. And it's now clear from this debate that only the Scottish Conservatives are offering clear, unambiguous support to our oil and gas industry and the North East of Scotland. This SNP-Green devolved government are against oil and gas exploration in the North Sea and would rather import our necessary energy needs from abroad, with supplies coming from places like Russia. Their presumption against oil and gas exploration in the North Sea means a cliff edge for our oil and gas industry. They seem to be intent on taking Scotland apart brick by brick rather than supporting business. This tone-deaf response from the government to the needs of our economy is risking our economic recovery and will directly impact the pockets of everyone in Scotland during this cost of living crisis. And Labour are no better, with clear divisions between the party north and south of the border on this policy, with Anna Sarwar desperately trying to backpedal in media interviews this week, telling us that what Keir Starmer really meant was something different from what he actually said. But the oil and gas sector and the people in the North East will not be fooled. I will if I have time later. The Labour position is a joke. They claim to want to support the oil and gas sector, but won't allow new developments. Classic sitting on the fence as they try to appease their friends at Just Stop Oil and the trade unions who call their stance naive. Well, let me break the news to them. Without any new developments, we will run out of hydrocarbons well before we need to, and then rely more on imports and throw thousands of jobs on the scrap heap, something that Sarah Boyack doesn't understand. But the GMB recognise this, as does the head of Offshore Energies UK, who stated today, "We are importing from countries where they don't necessarily have the same commitments to the climate goals that we have. We are exporting our jobs and we are leaving the country poorer as a result." This is the result of the actions that others in here are taking. As my colleagues have highlighted today, the Scottish Conservatives are the only party with a clear message of support for our oil and gas sector, and a clear message of support for the tens of thousands of workers and communities that rely on energy production for their livelihoods and well-being. Because make no mistake, while we still need to heat our homes, we still need oil and gas. While we still have an inadequate electric charging infrastructure, we will still need oil and gas. And while we still run 50-year-old diesel intercity 125s between our cities, then we will still need oil and gas. And while we still need oil and gas, it's better for our economy, better for our environment and better for our jobs that we produce it in this country. If I have time, I'll come back to you, Daniel. Liam Kerr makes this excellent point that it is the energy companies that are using oil and gas income to pay for our energy transition through billions of investment. Companies like BP, Shell and Equinor. Audrey Nicholl and Jackie Dunbar had a visit to the Seagreen wind farm, both mentioned it, built in partnership with Total Energies, using income from oil and gas to build the energy of the future. This shows the importance of traditional oil and gas companies to our transition, something that the Cabinet Secretary seems to not understand. Jamie Halcrow-Johnson spoke well of the highly paid, highly skilled jobs our economy so badly needs, the opportunities in the west of Shetland that will mean so much for the local community. We can't just throw that away. Audrey Nicholl speaks of the £500 million Just Transition Fund, but she fails to mention the £16 billion from the UK Government North Sea transition deal. And Gillian Martin talks about CCUS, over £40 million invested by the UK Government, while the Scottish Government zeroes their budget. We know that we need more investment in green energy production. One of the reasons why we're in favour of pursuing nuclear power. But we need to do this in partnership with industry, working with business instead of ignoring them, and working with communities throughout the North East to ensure they are leading on this issue. They are the ones that know best, and if we are not listening to them, we are going down a path that will lead to job losses and economic decline in the North East of Scotland. So let me be very clear. We support new oil and gas exploration in the North Sea, while there is still a demand for hydrocarbons. We believe in a just transition for the creation of green jobs. We support funding for any oil and gas worker that wants to reskill in renewables. We support the 90,000 workers who depend on the sector. And finally, Presiding Officer, we're the only party who will support the North East of Scotland, its towns, communities and its people. Thank you.